followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. So if everyone would please rise.
Allowing us to serve and live in this fine city. You've trusted us with the responsibility to make critical decisions, so we ask that you would give us wisdom and guidance tonight. In the end, we give the glory to you. It's in His name we pray.
All right, we're going to go ahead and call our Planning Commission meeting to order. Roll call, please, Laura.
O'Gwen,
Here.
Ward,
Here.
Byrd,
Here.
Young,
Here.
Prater,
Here.
Knack,
Here.
Lowe.
Here.
All right, 6-0. We do have a quorum. Could get approval of the meeting minutes from the October Planning Commission meeting. If there's any corrections, I'd entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Motion from Commissioner Lowe,
Second.
second from Commissioner Prater. Roll call, please, Laura.
Lowe,
Yes.
O'Gwen,
Yes.
Byrd,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Prater,
Yes.
Knack.
Yes.
All right, let's move on to the next item of business. We'll go ahead and open our public hearing. It is 7:02, and our first item on the agenda, Laura.
Amendments to the Unified Development Code, Section 4.6, Table of Permitted Uses.
I'll let you catch your breath.
Thank you. Okay, we are looking to amend this code. As you can see, the current code allows for self-storage facilities by outright to be in industrial zones only. We are looking to amend the code to revise that for self-storage to be, have a special use permit in a C2 and C3 district and still stay outright in an I1, which is an industrial district. That's the only changes that we are proposing for the table of permitted uses for the changes.
Commissioners have any questions? Since this is a public hearing, is there anyone in the audience that has any questions or comments about these changes? Tim?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. I believe our project is one that's kind of brought this thing to a head. We did what the Planning Commission had requested and what the code requested by rezoning this piece of property off of Gateway to I-1 for self-storage, RV storage. When we got to the city council said, wait a minute, time out. If we rezone this to I-1 and you're surrounded by commercial, that would be considered spot zoning, and which I guess by definition it would be. So the council asked us to table our I-1 request, which we have, in hopes that we can facilitate it through a special use permit. And the good news is you will see every one of these, and so you'll have a chance to yay or nay each one with the special use permit. With I-1, actually, it would be by right. So I think this would add a good layer for you guys to be able to look at and pass good policy and good judgment. Be glad to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. Commissioners have any other questions? Anyone else from the audience? All right, seeing none, go ahead and move for the vote.
So moved.
Motion from Commissioner Lowe. We have a second.
Second.
Second from Commissioner Ward. Roll call vote, please, Laura.
Byrd,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
Prater,
Yes.
Lowe,
Yes.
Knack,
Yes.
O'Gwen.
Yes.
6-0, motion does pass. All right, next item on the agenda, Laura.
Amendments to the Unified Development Code, Section 5.4.2, Streets. Okay, under this section, we came before you several months ago for some revisions in this to add section 7 and 8. We are looking to add some additional language to section 7 that would give some more clarity on developments that exceed 30 units, to have two separate and approved public egress accesses. The additional language that we've added is additionally, in said developments, any individual part, portion, or section of the development that exceeds 30 dwelling units shall provide two separate and approved public egress accesses. Any such access shall be in the form of dedicated street right-of-ways. So what this is discussing is, for example, if there are any subdivisions developed and they have cul-de-sacs that are obviously dead ends to more than 30 lots from where it begins to the termination point, then they would have to supply two accesses to that point. So that clears up maybe some misconstrued language that was understood in this section. So this, we feel like, gives it more definition of what the intent of this code was intended for in developments. If you had any questions or need any more clarification, I can help with that.
All right, thank you, Laura. Any questions for Laura from the commissioners? All right, anyone from the audience? All right, seeing none, but go ahead and recommend a motion to approve this.
Motion to approve.
You got a motion from Commissioner Prater,
Second.
second from Commissioner Byrd. Roll call vote, please, Laura.
Byrd,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
Prater,
Yes.
Kanak,
Yes.
O'Gwen,
Yes.
Lowe.
Yes.
All right, 6-0, motion does pass. All right, next item on the agenda, item C.
801 through 906 Eagle Street, rezoned from R4 single family to R4M multifamily, Sam Emmerling. There was a typo on the agenda. I did give y'all new agendas. This should be an R4 single family to an R4M multifamily.
All right, thank you, Laura. Applicant is here. Sam?
Well, we return. Basically, the only reason why I'm trying to rezone this piece of property for a second time is the first time some people in the neighborhood didn't want to have multifamily, which almost every piece of property coming into the subdivision that I own is multifamily. But some of the neighboring people around it are single-family homes, so I was going to try to do that. And the last time I rezoned the property was right as COVID was starting, and all the finances went haywire. So I can't get any kind of bank loans on single-family homes. The only thing I can do for rental property is multifamily. I've tried effortlessly for almost 2 years to do something, and I can't. So here I sit on the property again. I want to rezone it. I'm doing we've got plans that hopefully everybody will find agreeable in the neighborhood as we go forward with this. So that's the reason for that. I've got Bracy here to answer any technical questions you might have.
So Sam, last time we looked at this, it was going to be subdivided up into several different, was it single family that we originally looked at? And
Yes, sir. Yeah, we were going to do 20 each single-family homes with a 50-yard lot line. That's why we had to go to the R4. That was my original intentions until I couldn't get the financing for the project.
And what you're proposing now is multifamily, and it's kind of hard to read some of the text on here. What size of those structures individually?
All of the duplexes, the squares, the 40 by 34, duplexes. Basically, it's just a 2,800 square foot house that's a duplex. And then down at the end, trying to sort out that end of the property was a pain in the neck, so we just went with one apartment complex.
Is that two-level townhomes?
Yes,
Or what is it?
2-level. Yeah, it's all 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartments.
And Laura, according to the UDC, the type of screen or buffer, is there any requirement between the R1 and the R4?
Yes, they will have to install a fence.
Just a fence requirement, 6-foot privacy fence?
Yes, there is a landscape buffer as well that will have to be, that they'll have to do. But this time, we're just looking at a rezone.
All right. Any questions from the commission?
There was one, I'm sorry to interrupt, there was one notable comment that, in the staff report, on the sketch, it was proposed that the finished floor elevations of the buildings will only be 2 inches above the BFE. They will have to be 2 feet above the BFE.
The only reason why we originally did that was according to our insurance company. I've got other properties in the same situation, and that's what they required for me to insure the properties. We didn't realize at the time there was a city ordinance, which we're fine with meeting that ordinance.
Okay.
All right, any other questions?
Doesn't exceed the one entrance for 30-unit dwelling?
When it gets into,
If I understood that statement you made earlier, that's 30-lot subdivision. This is one lot.
okay, so in these type of developments, for that code, developments of 1 or 2 family dwellings, where the number of the dwelling units exceeds 30, do have to provide 2 separate and approved egress. So how many of the duplexes are you proposing? 24?
There'd be 13 actual structures because the duplexes are one structure each. Wouldn't that be correct?
Fire Marshal, you want to help me out with that wording?
Per
It-
code, when you separate a duplex by firewall, it turns it into 2, even though it's under one roof, it turns it into 2 separate singles. So even though it's one building, it's considered 2 separate structures. And
Okay.
even with that, those being single family fall under the 30 of the single, then you get into the multifamily, which is a whole different number. So that's why I had no confidence about it.
Yeah.
Even on the
So this one, they technically wouldn't fall under having to have the 2 separate entrances.
You said it would or would not?
Would not.
That's what we wanted.
That ordinance doesn't take effect until the city council votes on that too, right? The amendment.
Correct.
Any other questions for the applicant? Thank you, Sam. Appreciate it. Anyone here to speak against this item or for it? All right, seeing none, I'd recommend some discussion or,
This is just to approve the rezoning, it's nothing to do with the site plan.
that's correct. This is just a rezone.
And from what he said, I mean, it looks to me like there is several duplexes or apartments in that area, isn't there?
Yeah, the road leading into it is primarily multifamily. Where it backs up to is single-family residence. Mitch, you can see it on this, well, it's hard to see on that aerial, but yeah, it seems to be a cohesive blend of the streets coming into that. So I know it is up against R1 backing up to it, but I think it does make sense from tying into the road that leads up to that space. So I think it seems appropriate from a rezone standpoint. Any other questions? I'd entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve with staff comments.
Got a motion to approve with staff comments from Commissioner Lowe. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Byrd. Roll call vote, please, Laura.
Lowe,
Yes.
Knack,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
Byrd,
Yes.
O'Gwen,
Yes.
Prater.
Yes.
6-0, the motion does pass. All right, we'll go into the next item of business.
16 Cooper Cove, special use permit for a child daycare facility in R1 zoning district, Mallory Greenway. Okay, this is a special use permit request to be located at 16 Cooper Cove, which is in the Magnus Creek subdivision for the property owner. She is seeking a special use permit to be able to have a daycare facility in her house that can accommodate more than 5 children per the UDC code. The existing structure is, again, on Cooper Cove in a cul-de-sac. Again, she is trying to attain this special use permit so that she can be allowed a state licensed in-home daycare. She currently can have 5 according to our regulations. As you can see in the packet, she has submitted the items that staff has requested on what her operations are, and that her maximum number of children that she intends to care for. And her letter states that she intends to care for 6 children, and her hours will be from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. on drill weekends, which is the last weekend of the month. If you have any questions for me, I can answer them. If not, I believe Ms. Mallory is here if you have any questions for her as well.
All right, thank you, Laura. Commissioners have any questions for Laura? All right, Ms. Mallory, if you would step up to the mic.
Do you have any questions, or do you want me to speak?
So feel free to add
I don't
any.
really like speaking, but I will if you want me to.
So I'm assuming you're
I've done
keeping
this for
5?
10 years. I've never had any issues. Like, my neighbors love what I do. They love the kids. I'm licensed through the Air Force. The Air Force will allow 6 kids, but since I live in city limits, I have to get state licensed, which means I have to have your approval to get that extra kid. So that's what I'm trying to do.
Okay. Any questions for the applicant?
Is there a specific square footage amount per child that the state
The
requires?
state will require, I haven't started that process because I have to do this first. I know I have more than what the state requires for 6 kids. I don't know the amount, but I do know that I'm good on square footage.
Yeah, I think is it 36 or 35 square feet?
I have the licensing manual. I'm sorry. I'm a family child care support person for Central Arkansas. So I support people like Mallory who keep kids in their homes. But per licensing regulations, there is a certain amount of square footage allowed for each kid. But yes, she has ample space especially for just one more.
So there'd be an
Do
outdoor,
you want to know that?
an outdoor playground as well that's in the backyard, I'm sure.
Yes, and there are certain stipulations on the safety requirements, how much like padding has to be underneath the different, depending on how high the equipment is. Being state licensed is really important just because it's basic health and safety regulations for kids. And so if she's able to get a license, to be a licensed child care family home, then parents can feel assured that she is meeting all the minimum requirements, and it ensures the kids in her care, their health and safety. You know, it doesn't necessarily mean that care is quality, but she is going to be observed and checked in on regularly to make sure that she continues meeting the requirements. So that's why it's really important in our eyes.
Gotcha. I didn't catch your name. What was your name?
I'm Tiffany Pace,
Tiffany Pace.
and I can if y'all want to look at all the licensing requirements that will become of it, I will let you look at this.
That's okay. I seem to remember something like 35 or 36 square feet per child as far as the minimum requirements.
And it can't include like rooms that they don't use or bathrooms or closets or things like that. It has to be usable, living space, playroom space, kind of things like that. Let me give you a
It's,
number.
so I'm also Air Force licensed, which she's my licenser, and it's 35 per kid.
Okay.
Anyone have any other questions?
I'm not trying to be the devil's advocate here, but can she operate a business in a residential area according to the city?
Yes.
She can? Okay.
I'm not either. I absolutely love the idea of in-home daycare. I think it's great. But can we supersede the POA? I mean,
The planning, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, or I asked, does the POA have any stipulations where you live?
No.
That
And
prohibit
they
that?
are well aware of this. Like, I've been here for 5 years in my neighborhood. They all know. That was a topic of discussion yesterday. Like, there's no issues. And it's not like a POA, like, they don't care. It's not a rule in their, because I did look at that before I moved here.
And that's just an agreement between y'all neighbors, doesn't really have anything to do with the planning commission, but that was,
Well, or maybe I'm thinking HOA, so never mind.
your bill of
thing.
assurance, that somebody, I guess,
I don't, yeah, I had it mixed up. I was thinking HOA, like, they don't care, but.
So someone did write a letter with the outline of, I guess, the POA that says no commercial use, and I mean, I don't care about it. I love what you're doing. My only question would be, you're doing this to get one child, but how many more children can you get?
So Air Force, I can only have 6.
Okay.
So I want that 6th child, but it's not just about the kid. Like, state licensing also will give me other benefits.
Actually, our organization is state-funded, our department, and we are able to provide, like, just most recently, we are able to provide them with training, free training, and kits to screen their kids to check where they are developmentally, to give hard evidence to parents, to see if any children might need some early intervention with some kind of therapy or something. And we have also been able to get the funds to give those kits to each provider. We can't give them to them unless they're licensed or registered. And so she would not be able to get one for right now, which is, really helpful in seeing where the kids are. And so that's another thing is, like, we're able to give them state-funded materials if they're licensed.
I guess my question is, if we voted to approve it, she still may have a battle with the bill of assurance and the HOA.
and that's
So-
between her and them, yeah.
But us voting to approve it, then it's on the state, and she can get her licensing, and then that could,
If this is approved, is there a limit to the number of kids that she could have in the?
I can only have 6 because I'm Air Force licensed as well, and they only allow 6.
This approval doesn't relate to your Air Force license, it relates to the city approval, correct?
Correct, but if the city doesn't approve me to have 6, the Air Force don't allow me to have 6.
I think where I was going was, would you be willing to limit the number of kids to 6 with this special approval here?
I still have to be state licensed.
That's what she's requesting, to have 6. That's all she's requesting for, is 6. So her special use is requested to have 6 children, and that's it.
So it is limited to 6?
Yes.
Just one more kid? Okay.
Any other questions?
What's the timeline of your parents dropping off and picking up your children now? And is that an issue?
It's not
Right
an
now.
issue. I've never had an issue in 5 years with drop-offs. I'm flexible with when they drop off because they have doctor appointments and whatnot. Most of them come between 7 to 9. And then they get there between 3:30 to 5 or 6, depending on the day, but
How many other houses is in that cul-de-sac right there?
I believe there's 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's like there's 10 total.
Yeah, that sounds right. I was going to guess 8, but
And it doesn't make any changes to her, property or anything. Like, nobody will even notice a difference. It's literally just one more child can be inside the house.
If one of your neighbors come in next week, I'm over here,
sorry.
and ask for the same thing, would you be opposed to it?
What do you mean, asked for?
To open a daycare down the road from you?
No. I mean, I think we travel and we do field trips and whatnot, and there's other providers that we go and play with, like the more the merrier, so I'm not opposed to anything, so.
I can tell you all about why family child care is important if you'd
You
like.
you don't have to tell me, I agree with it. I think it's great. I think it's great, really. I really do.
A lot of parents, need that, especially for infants and toddlers. And we need, it's such a need in our state for infant and toddler care and quality care at that. And you can't really have quality, care homes if you don't have collaboration, if you don't have training, people in your court. And so,
I think the only concern, like from this individual that sent a letter in, is just how many may get open, and then who's actually watching over to make sure they're actually taking care of these kids and not just trying to get state-funded money. So,
no.
but you guys do a good job watching on that, I'm sure.
Yeah, I have it, this will just make it harder on me, like I'll have more inspections and more and I'm working to get accredited, that's just more higher standards, so it's not making it easier, if anything, they should feel better because I'm gonna have more eyes on me,
absolutely.
so.
All right. Well, thank you, Mallory and Tiffany. Appreciate it. Since this is a public hearing, is there anyone here to speak against this item or for this? Anyone else? All right. Seeing none, we'll go ahead and open it up to the planning commissioners. Any other discussion or entertain a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
A motion, Commissioner Gwynn, a second from, who was that? Ward? Yeah, Ward. All right. Roll call vote, please, Laura.
Prater,
Yes.
Byrd,
Yes.
Lowe,
Yes.
Gwynn,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
Knack.
Yes.
All right, 6-0, motion does pass. Thank you. All right. It's 7:28. We'll go ahead and close the public hearing, and we'll move into new business items. And starting off with item A, preliminary plat. Laura?
Preliminary plat, Lot 1, Darden Edition, Richardson Engineering. Okay, this is a preliminary plat request for, it is located at 232 Willie Ray Drive. Eric Richardson is the applicant. They are seeking a preliminary plat approval for a commercial piece of property that they are, you'll see here shortly with a site plan. It's currently zoned C3. The property is 3.2 acres in size. There are actually two parcels that they are replatting into, or platting into one parcel to be able to accommodate for a site plan that will have a restaurant associated with it. Again, the property is located along Willie Ray Drive and currently zoned C3. Trying to flip the pages. There are only a couple of minor outstanding items in the staff report that can be handled between myself and the applicant. Just a minor flood note statement, and then certifications being finalized if the preliminary plat is approved, and some right-of-way information. Other than that, the applicant has addressed all the staff concerns and comments.
All right, thank you, Laura. Is the applicant here? You would state your name?
Good evening, Eric Richardson, Richardson Engineers.
Other color you'd like to add to the report?
I think she just covered it all. Again, just thank you to the city for being so good to work with. We appreciate you guys. Everybody's been so thorough and, like I say, pleasant to work with, and looking forward to hopefully approval of preliminary plat and site plan later on tonight. Very excited to have this project come for you. But yes, Ms. Laura covered it all, 3.28 acres. It's zoned C3. It was 2 parcels, combining those into one commercial platted lot. Utilities are all along Willie, I knew I would mess that up, Willie Ray Drive, except for sewer will be coming up the rear of the property there. It's a proposed extension that direction. I'm here to answer any questions you may have. Of course, willing to provide easements and whatever the city needs on that plat. So.
All right, thank you, Eric. Appreciate that. Commissioners have any questions? If not, I entertain a motion to approve with staff contingencies.
Motion to approve with staff contingencies.
Got a motion from Commissioner Byrd.
Second.
Second from Commissioner Connect. Roll call vote, please, Laura.
Prater,
Yes.
Byrd,
Yes.
Lowe,
Yes.
O'Gwen,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
Knack.
Yes.
All right, 6-0, motion does pass. Thank you, Eric. All right, next item on the agenda, Laura.
Site plan, Olive Garden, Richardson Engineering. Okay, this is a staff report for a site plan for a proposed Olive Garden on the same site that y'all just approved the preliminary plat for. Again, the property is 3.28 acres in size. It is located on the north side of Highway 67-167, adjacent to Willie Ray Drive. The site plan does include a proposed about a 7,800 square foot building with parking accompanied on the site. There are several outstanding items that are still in the staff report that still need to be addressed, that the applicant will need to get more information from Cabot Waterworks on, mainly the sewer information. We've got to verify some parking requirements and spacing that they have already agreed to update for us, some parking lot lighting, just a few dimensions that we need to add. Other than that, they are just minor comments that can be addressed between my office and Mr. Richardson's office as well, but nothing that is a major item. If you have any questions, I can answer them. If you've got any questions for Mr. Richardson, he can answer those as well.
Thank you, Laura. Eric, is there any other items you'd like to add to this?
Again, Eric Richardson, Richardson Engineers. No, Ms. Laura just covered it all again. Not leaving me anything to say today. Oh, we're really excited about it. It's going to be a really nice building, really nice site. I believe there were about 136 parking spaces. We'll have detention, of course. You can see where the detention pond's going to be. So all the city comments will be addressed. And again, just appreciate all the city's help on this project.
Yeah, Eric, on that detention pond, what is that condition going to be? Is it just going to be a low area that's just grass or sodded?
It'll just be a sodded detention pond, yes.
Yep.
Yes, there's a back slope back there, and I think a draw or a creek or something to the back there. Everything will discharge that direction. Yes. I don't anticipate any riprap or any concrete, if that's what you're alluding to on that. Just a 3-to-1 slope grass area there, earthen berms.
And the dumpsters are handled on the back side of the
Yes.
building, where the concrete pad's shown?
Yes.
What about signage? I know that we're in a site plan review, but how's your signage with the highway department, or highway access and frontage? Are you guys planning for a large pole-mounted sign? Or?
Yes, sir. It'll be a fairly large sign there. I believe that's being submitted with the architect's package, but we did show the location of the signage there. So yes, it should be along the highway there. I don't know if anyone's been to Conway lately and seen the Olive Garden there, but we just finished that project. Turned out really nice. If you'd like to make a trip over, it'll probably look pretty similar to that one.
And then I think we're showing sidewalk across the front.
Yes.
It's our understanding that, from the permit officer, that it's not a state highway. as of right now, Willie Ray Drive, but will be in the near future maybe, or maybe there's a programmed project there. So we just conveyed to them that we would build those drives according to their specs. That way, if it does come into the highway right away, it'll already be according to their standards, so.
All right, great. Any commissioner questions or?
Only one, right off the bat, I thought the parking spaces looked tight. They don't have dimensions on the parking spaces yet. They're bringing those to you?
No, they have dimensions on them. The way that they submitted them did not meet the depth requirements for the parking spaces. They had only, I think it was 18 on the
Yes.
depth, but they had a lot more maneuverable area in the driving lanes, but they are going to fix that and make the depth of the parking spaces deeper and then make the maneuverability area a little bit narrower. It will still meet the requirements. They're just going to adjust the dimensions of them.
I think we
A
had,
lot of big vehicles in Cabot.
yes, yes.
Any other questions? All right, seeing none, I'd entertain a motion to approve with the staff contingencies.
Motion to approve with the contingencies.
Got a motion approved from Commissioner Prater. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Knack. Roll call vote, please, Laura.
Lowe,
Yes.
Byrd,
Yes.
O'Gwen,
Yes.
Prater,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
Knack.
Yes.
All right, 6-0, motion does pass.
Thank you very much.
All right, next item on the agenda, Laura.
Preliminary plat, Lot 1, Panther South subdivision, Mitten Engineering. This is a preliminary plat that is in the packet. There is not a staff report with this. This preliminary plat was part of an item that was requested for when the site plan was reviewed, which is the next item on the agenda. So there is not, staff has not reviewed this preliminary plat. So I'm asking that, we're requesting that approval of the preliminary plat contingent on that the applicant address all items from after staff has reviewed the preliminary plat. There are some talk on, we've done some digging. The city attorney's office has helped me do some digging into Panther Trail on whether or not it is actually a dedicated city street or if it is an access easement. We have found some ordinances that have pertained to it, but we've not officially found all the ordinance that pertain to whether Panther Trail is actually a city street or not. So that we are still digging for information on that since that street has been in existence for a little while. The one ordinance that we were able to find was actually back from 1989, so we're still doing a little bit of digging to find out if the west side of Panther Trail is part of a city street or if it's an access easement. So that is the only issue per se right now that has come out for this preliminary plat, as well as the site plan that y'all will see next up on the agenda. And Mr. Mitten is here if you have any questions for him as far as regarding to the preliminary plat.
Okay, thank you, Laura. Hey, Josh?
Hey, Josh Mitten, Mitten Engineering. It's approximately 67 acres. This is the junior high south, middle school south site. And like Laura said, was unaware that it needed to be platted, so we put something together real quick and had Debbie with the school look up with the county, and we couldn't find anything where that was a city street or had any easements or anything. So we're hoping to fix that with this plat, whether we need to plat it as a right-of-way or plat as an easement, access easement. I feel like an access easement would probably serve the purpose better, because you'll see on the site plan, we had a traffic engineer come in. I don't know if any of y'all have kids that go to school here. The traffic is a nightmare, because you have people come in and they have to turn around, especially for junior high south. They have to turn around all the way up at the junior high to get back to the middle school. So we're trying to fix that with a couple roundabouts and a couple of different options that that the traffic engineer suggested. And I think it would be easier to do through an access easement, but we're definitely open to right-of-way or whatever is required. The actual site plan is going to be south, kind of south of the Panther Trail, where the flag football soccer fields are right now.
So where the flag football field's going to be relocated to?
I
That's
don't
a
think
major.
they played flag football there for a while. I think they play over by the soccer fields now, right? You know, the softball fields off of First Street? I think it's been a little bit since they've been used.
Yeah, I guess that shows my age.
Yeah. You don't want to play there anyway. That area is wet. My kids played there, and if it rained just a little bit, it was just a mud hole.
Commissioners have any questions on the preliminary plat?
I don't know if it's for preliminary plat or site plan, but I think we need to consider that road and do something, because we're going to add a lot of more traffic to that road, and it's already squirrely as it is, so I might be jumping the gun here.
Yeah, I think we'll adjust that in the site plan review. Any other questions on the preliminary? If not, entertain a motion to approve.
So
To approve
moved.
with staff comments.
Got a motion to approve from Commissioner Lowe and from Commissioner Ward, a second. All right, roll call vote, please, Laura.
Byrd,
Yes.
Prater,
Yes.
Knack,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
O'Gwen,
Yes.
Lowe.
Yes.
All right, 6-0, motion does pass. All right, next item. Laura?
Site plan, Cabot Pre-K South, Mitten Engineering. Okay, this is the same piece of property that we were, well, let me rephrase that. This is a part of the piece of property that we were just discussing. This is a site plan for a preschool to be built on Panther Trail. It will be located on the south side of Panther Trail between the junior high south and the middle school south. They were requesting for a site plan approval. The pre-K building is designed for about 240 kids and a safe room. They will be, the applicants proposing to improve Panther Trail with 2 roundabouts and reconfigure some directions as far as how the buses will enter the schools and how some of the drop-off locations will be at the junior high south. They are hoping that these roundabouts will drastically improve the congestion on Panther Trail during pickup and drop-off and make it a smoother transition for all the schools that are surrounding. As far as the staff comments, there were only just the minor comments that are typically in the staff report that we don't push forward until they have approval. They have satisfied just about everything. There is one water comment that's outstanding, but that's just more of a item that can be addressed with the water department. So other than that, we do still need to, we'll figure out the Panther Trail situation as far as whether it's a city street or dedicated as an access easement before anything moves officially forward. Other than that, if you have any questions for me, I can answer them. If not, Josh is still here to answer anything else that you might have.
So Josh, I see the 2 roundabouts, but how is that handling the traffic for middle school south? Is there another plan for that instead of the crazy kind of coming down, looping back?
Yeah, well, currently, the cars come up and they loop around, or there's like a big cul-de-sac where the school built, about where the roundabout, is that me?
Oh, sorry.
Okay. About where the roundabout is on the left side of the building. So that's still going to operate that way, but what happens is they've got buses that turn north going to the backside of junior high south and middle school south. That gets congested. And there's also a big congestion point at the junior high where where people are coming out of the drop-off and trying to turn left to get back to 89. And they just can't do it because cars are backed up through there. So we're going to force them back to that second roundabout to where we can keep traffic moving. And we had a lot of these similar issues here in front of the high school. This was back 15 years ago when we built these roundabouts. Traffic used to back up all the way back past Shiloh, and it really helped because it keeps the traffic moving. No one has to stop. It also prevents the school from having to have a officer out there, a resource officer, waving, directing traffic, and it has seemed to help on a lot of these school projects.
So we see the site plan, the loop on the left-hand side, on the west side, is that bus or is that parent pickup?
For the
There's two
Pre-K?
different loops, yeah, for the pre-K.
Okay, for the bus is in the front, and the one on the west side is for parents.
Okay.
It's all one way.
It's double lane, one way,
Correct.
right?
Double lane, one way. So the parents will enter on the far west side and then loop around the school, so they're dropping off at the door side, and then exit into the roundabout.
But middle school south is still lining up and then going into the roundabout on the way back
Correct.
to queue back up for the other
That's correct.
pickup.
They will still queue in, but this is going to allow people, the traffic to flow a little bit better. I've got a report from Peters and Associates, and I don't know if you've seen their sketches or their report. And it probably would explain it a little bit better. I actually have a copy of it if you want. This is just the sketch, though. So I don't know if you remember, a couple of years ago, the school added another lane all the way down from Kerr Station back to that teardrop, which helps some. The problem is not necessarily the stacking space, it's getting the cars to move. Because they just sit in there, and that intersection where they're going to the backside of junior high north and middle school south, it just got congested because people are trying to turn. So the roundabout's going to allow that traffic to move instead of just kind of a three-way stop or however it's been operating now. So
I'd always hoped that the areas they took the trees out, that they would clear that out and let that be a stack-up space, kind of like they're doing, or you guys are doing at middle
Yeah,
school
junior high
north
north,
or junior
yeah.
high north, yeah.
middle school north.
Yeah.
Yeah, middle school north.
Yeah, where you kind of cleared that out, you created a big loop for parents to queue up, because that'd get them off of this drive or access easement or road, whatever.
Yeah.
Because I still think that's going to be a bottleneck right there. I mean, if they're all queuing up to that first roundabout and trying to get into the pre-K and folks trying to go the other way.
Right. And the school's been very proactive about all these traffic issues. There's a project probably at least once a year in the summer where we're trying to do something to fix. We were at the junior high. We built that drive at the junior high last year, and now we're doing the one at middle school. And so they're very proactive about traffic and trying to fix a problem. Both of these schools, well, I went to that junior high. It's an old junior high. It's the first junior high in Cabot. But the problem with all these older schools is they're just not designed for car traffic. Back then, kids rode buses. And so there's not a lot of stacking space. There's not a lot of parking space. And so they've kind of involved these older schools into having to accommodate more cars. You know, we've seen like West Side, we've added drives, Central, we've added drives. All the older elementary schools, we've had to add additional stacking space for the parent pickups.
I think this is an improvement, but I still think they're going to have to work on something for middle school south, so. Any questions from commissioners?
Just a couple, one question for Josh. The western roundabout there, that southeast connection there, is that an entrance into the roundabout only? That's not an exit?
The one from the pre-K? Yeah, that's a one-way into the roundabout only.
The other comment I got is the sidewalks crossing at the other roundabout on the south side there. You might want to take a look at that and make sure those give clearance to get cars out of the roundabout, so they're not, making that turn at speed. Give them an opportunity to recognize those people, those kids crossing and stuff like that on the sidewalks. Make sure those sidewalks crossings are away from the roundabout and enjoy I'm a big fan of roundabouts.
Sure.
Big fan of kids crossing one way at a time, but we need to make sure they have that opportunity, not that they're looking at those cars moving to the roundabout, making a turn. They're having to guess.
Okay, we can move that south a little bit more.
Any other questions? If not, I entertain a motion to approve the site plan with the comments suggested tonight and staff contingencies.
So move.
Got a motion from Commissioner Lowe. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Commissioner Prater. Roll call vote, please.
Lowe,
Yes.
Prater,
Yes.
Knack,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
Byrd,
Yes.
O'Gwen.
Yes.
All right, 6-0, site plan does pass. Thank you, Josh. All right, and the last item on the agenda, Laura?
Preliminary plat, 4 Mile Creek Commercial Park, half. Okay, this is a preliminary plat for lots 1 through 7, 4 Mile Creek Commercial Park. It is a piece of property that is located northwest of Willie Ray Drive. Got stuck on me as well, as many times as I've already said it tonight. The property is primarily undeveloped and located in a wooded area near, it's actually in the city limits of Cabot. The parcel in size is about 97.64 acres in size. There again, we are looking to preliminary plat it into 7 lots with the future county road to access this point. There are several lot sizes within this preliminary plat. All the staff comments have been addressed. There was one additional water comment that came out of the last review that is just a minor comment for them to just add some profile crossings on the profile sheets. Other than that, all the staff comments have been addressed. If you have any questions for me, I can answer them. If not, there's a representative from HAF here if you have any questions for them.
Does the applicant want to add any to that staff report?
My name's Mark Rickett with HAF. No, I don't have anything to add. She pretty much covered it. I'm here for questions if you guys have any. And Brett Mahan is here as well as lead designer on the project.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Any questions from commissioners? Pretty straightforward. I'd recommend a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
A motion from Commissioner Lowe. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Commissioner Byrd. Roll call vote, please.
O'Gwen,
Yes.
Prater,
Yes.
Byrd,
Yes.
Lowe,
Yes.
Knack,
Yes.
Ward.
Yes.
All right, 6-0, preliminary plat is approved. Motion passes. Thank you. All right, last item here, community input. Does anybody have anything from the community that you'd like to address the planning commission? Alicia's back there smiling. One announcement I do want to make is December 19th, next meeting. It won't be the 4th Tuesday of the month. It'll be the 3rd Tuesday of the month. So, yeah, we're going to meet at December the 19th here in this room again. Just want to make sure everyone notes that. Any other announcements? All right, get a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor, say aye. All right, and see you guys next month. Thank you.